Just a little thing on the U.S. Open. Much has been made of the fact that Justin Rose, who won that marvelous tournament this weekend at Marion, is the first Englishman to win the U.S. Open since 1970, when Tony Jacklin won it. And since 1970, in the 43 years in between, there's been 12, not different guys, but there's been 12 non-American winners. Ernie Els has won it a couple of times in there. Retief Goosen's won it a couple of times in there. David Graham, Michael Campbell, Jeff Ogilvy. But there's just a little school of thought out there, and I've read about it several times since the championship, that, Marion didn't have the fairy tale ending this year that we all wanted it to have. We all, being Americans, wherever you're watching me from in the States, is that the way you see this? Is this going to be the championship that Phil Mickelson didn't win, as opposed to the one that Justin Rose did win? Because you know what? This game of golf is a worldwide game now. Get used to it. I know Tiger Woods is back on top of the heap, but for about 3 years there, the top golfers in the world were not from the United States. Rory McIlroy, Lee Westwood, Luke Donald. Luke Donald and Rory McIlroy rewrote the record books, winning the money titles on both sides of the Atlantic. Never been done before. Never been done before. The top players of the world, Martin Kaymer, Lee Westwood, Luke Donald, Rory McIlroy, none of them come from the States. The Ryder Cup, the greatest event, with all due respect to the four majors, now the greatest, most compelling event in golf, has been won by the European team 8 out of the last 10 times, including the miracle at Medina this year, with the greatest comeback in the history of team golf, when they came back from 6 points down to win the Ryder Cup and take it away from Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, with a display of golf that will never be forgotten in Europe. Justin Rose is being lauded around the world for his story, which I've told you about and written about here at NSS and on my golf site, Fairways Plus. Is a great story. But I got a feeling, and it was exacerbated by the coverage on American television this weekend of Phil Mickelson, and is the daddy of the year going to win it? It's his birthday. It's Father's Day. He flew back and forth across the country to see his little daughter graduate. This is going to be remembered, I think, by you Yanks out there as the tournament that Phil Mickelson lost, just like in 2006 at Winged Foot, when Jeff Ogilvy, that's right, Jeff Ogilvy of Australia won that U.S. Open. That's not what you remember, is it? All you remember is Phil Mickelson was leading that tournament, and he drove the ball 80 yards offline into the concession stands and lost it. For the sake of the game of golf, it's not all about Tiger Woods. It's not all about Phil Mickelson. Golf has gone on long before they came along, and will go along long after. It is so wrong, in my opinion, to put all your eggs in one basket with Tiger Woods, because we already saw what happens when he's not in the game. Numbers go way down because all of our concentration on what's Tiger doing, not what's happening with the golf tournament. And that's kind of what happened once Tiger shot himself out of contention with the U.S. Open this weekend. It was all about Phil Mickelson. And it's wrong for you to remember this championship about the one that Phil Mickelson lost, because he didn't lose it. Justin Rose won it, and he deserves to be remembered that way. He's a worthy champion. He's a gentleman. He's what the games of golf's all about. He's a family man. He's an Englishman. That doesn't mean to say you should think about this tournament as the one that Phil lost. It's the one that Justin Rose won. And I'm fearing that that's not the way it's going to go down. In your minds, all you Yanks who are watching me out there, that certainly is the way it'll be remembered for people around the world across the pond. Hopefully you'll give what I just said some thought and see the light of what I'm talking about here. This game of golf is worldwide. It's not just about Tiger, and this weekend about Phil.